So you're looking to start a Facebook business page, but you don't know maybe where to start, or you want to make sure that you don't miss any steps. That's exactly what this video is about. In this video, I'll be going through a step-by-step process showing you exactly how to set up your Facebook business page and optimize it to make sure you are as successful as possible on this platform. Now, this is a tutorial for beginners, so if you are not a beginner, the only thing I ask is that before you click off this video, please go down and click the like button so that other beginners can find this video. So for those of you who stuck around, congratulations, you're starting your first Facebook business page, which is a very exciting move. Facebook is a massive platform with countless users and businesses on there and endless potential for your business to grow and expand. So like I said, this video is a step-by-step tutorial showing you exactly everything you need to know to start your Facebook business page. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is go to Facebook, preferably on a laptop. That's what I'll be showing you in this video. But if you're trying to do it on your phone, I suppose you can do it, but I recommend you really use a desktop for this one just to make sure you're on the same page as me. So from Facebook, sign in with your personal account. You have to start off with your personal account, and later I'll show you how we're really just going to manage everything on the business page and kind of separate it from ourselves as much as possible. But for the beginning, we're going to start off with the personal account right here. Now, from your personal account, go up in the top right here and click Create. And it'll pop down with the menu and you have lots of different options. And I will be making several videos in the future where I show you guys how to do some other things like ads, make Facebook groups, different things like that. But for now, this video is about creating a Facebook business page. So community public figure is that's a different option. So if you ever have some kind of community thing you want to do, definitely go and follow through with that. But for now, Facebook business page right here. So the first thing it asks you is to name your Facebook page. This is going to be just whatever the name of your business is. So we're just going to say Mike's Barbershop, just as like one example of what the business could be. Of course, you can do this for any type of business out there. And when you're searching for a category, maybe not all categories are there, but type a top, maybe 4 or 5 different things until you find the best option. So for barbershop, let's see. So it looks like we do have barbershop, we have hair salon, lots of different options. So you can really narrow down the best category for your business rather than just blindly saying product or service. So choosing the right category here will make it easier for people to find your business in the future. And if people can find your business, that means ultimately more people, more leads, more dollars in your pocket, and a more successful business. So this is step 1 in being more successful is what I'm saying. Make sure you choose the best category you can find. So for an address, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what your address is. I mean, it does make it logical so people can come to your storefront. But for me right now, because this is a fictitious business, I'm not actually a barber, we're going to just make up an address for this one. Okay, so that will take us to the next step where we are going to be adding a profile picture and a wallpaper for this one. So I recommend going to like canva.com or open up PowerPoint and just create some kind of logo if you don't already have one that can be worked, that you can use for this. Now, it's easy to change this once you already have your page up, and I will show you how to do that. But for now, I already have just a quick little logo I found on Google that I will be using. So we're just going to use this logo right here, a little barbershop logo, and then the wallpaper is just going to be really whatever you want. I just have something I made in PowerPoint. It's literally just text. I recommend you make this look good though, because this essentially is like a landing page of a second website you're going to host. So this is a way for people when they find you, they end up on this page and they're going to scroll down and look at it and say, do I want to get my hair cut at Mike's Barbershop? And if it doesn't look good, people are not going to do that, right? So right here, Mike's Barbershop, we have that right there. The cover did not come up for some reason. Sometimes this does happen if you don't have the picture scaled correctly, or if for some reason Facebook does not accept that. You can just, from right here, this is what I said before, it's really easy to update your profile picture, or you can also change the background right here. But regardless of that, the second thing you want to do, once you have your artwork set up for this one, so you have a good logo, you have a good wallpaper, and like I said, easy to change those, you want to make sure you have a button, because like I said, ultimately the purpose of this is to have as many leads as possible get here, but once they get here, you want to drive that traffic to your business to actually create more customers, more dollars, and a more successful business. So if we are a barbershop, let's go and add a button to really convert them over from Facebook to our website or whatever we're trying to do. So you have different options. You can have booking right there. And I'm just going to say for something like a barbershop, it makes sense that you want to maybe schedule an appointment. So booking makes a logical sense to me. Then it's going to ask if you want, appointments on Facebook, which you can set up. You can have some other tool. If you have a booking tool out there, that's fine. Or you can link to your website if for some reason you do all the booking on your website. So for now, I'm just going to say we're going to link to the website. Okay, so we're just going to link to santralmedia.com, which is obviously not the barbershop website, but for the purposes of this video, it should give you the right idea. So you say finish then, and then if you go and hover over this, the book now thing, you can test the button, and it should open a new tab and make sure that it takes you to the right place. Make sure you didn't misspell the website or something. And right here, it took us to santralmedia.com. That's exactly what we were looking for. So this button's now set up. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is on the left, you'll see here, just check out what tabs there are. So you'll see that you have like services, reviews, events, and all these other things. And maybe like shop, for example, maybe if you don't sell physical products, maybe you don't want this. So I'll show you a little bit later on in the video how to get rid of that and really optimize these to make as much sense as possible. And of course, you also have like and share and stuff like that. So you want to gain some traffic initially. So maybe not yet, but at the end of this video, once it's configured, we're going to come back to this and we're going to make sure that you share it with all of your friends and make sure everybody knows about it and kind of gets the ball rolling a little bit. So next, let's go up to settings. This is where we really start to make everything function in this page. So starting off with general right here. Now, general is not that exciting. This is the first one that is kind of just some disclaimers you want to know about. So age restrictions may be something that could be important. Just some basic, almost legal type stuff. You want to make sure that you keep it everything exactly as you want. So all pages are slightly different, but in case anything here is wrong, make sure you read through this first. Next, we have page info. This is where you can really populate it and start to input a lot of things about your page to tell people more about it and convert it over, make it more searchable, make people more interested in your page, and also make people, transfer to your website from here. So if they find, the description matches, they're like, oh yeah, I kind of like that, and they'll check it out, and then they'll end up at your website. So the first block is the description, which is essentially just what your business is. And the little blue blocks here tell you a little bit about what you're inputting right there. So just a quick little description of what your business is makes sense there. Then in categories, this is essentially how people can find you if they're searching for, there's tons of different things that might be like Mike's whatever your business is called or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the categories is an important way for people to narrow down businesses in a search to really find you. So you want to make sure you have, first of all, the best category possible, and then you can have a second category if you want. So right here, maybe I'm going to say like hair salon. So I'll have two categories there. So it's easier for people to find me if they're searching for barbershop or for hair salon. So that's very important right there. Then contact information, again, is important if you want people to, somehow convert from Facebook to your actual physical business. So phone number is important, website and email. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to add the website, I'm just going to put Santral for that one. Then as you scroll down, you see some other things that might not make as much sense. So Wi-Fi name, for example, is not really saying like, do you have Wi-Fi that's private and like, what is your password or whatever. This is really for like, if you have like Starbucks, for example, would maybe have Wi-Fi and maybe like the password would be like Starbucks 2020 or something, right? So that way people could, when they go there, if they're on the Facebook page, they're like, oh, there's a Wi-Fi here, like sign into it, right? So it's just an easier way for people to know if your coffee shop or whatever has Wi-Fi and what the password is, so they don't have to always come up and ask you. The address is nice, so you can see it, customers can see it on a map. Then you can also see like the service area. So if you are like a lawnmower, for example, or some kind of landscaper, you might want to say like Southeast Pennsylvania, or you could say New Jersey, whatever your area is. You can kind of describe what it is, the regions, the neighborhoods, the cities, so that people know like, yeah, okay, can I hire this guy if he's a window washer in Philly, but I'm like maybe 3 hours away from Philly. Like it's a good way for people to know if you're actually interested in their business. If you have multiple locations, or if you have like a storefront somewhere and you maybe are located somewhere else, then this is another great way to add the located in thing right here, just to have some more information there. Your hours, I'm just going to say we're always open. We're the barbershop that just like never sleeps, right? So of course your hours are very important as well. And your price down here, you want to be honest about the price, because you don't want to say you're really cheap. People show up and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, it's way too expensive. And then you lose customers from that way. But also you don't gain customers from people that maybe are looking for a high-end haircut and they're looking for like the $3 or $4 sign and you say $1. So you want to make sure that you actually, do a little bit of market research, see what other people charge, and figure out where in that spectrum you're going to charge. So we're going to say we are like premium haircuts, right? We're going to say we're 4 stars, and we're going to want to make sure that this Facebook page looks as good as possible, really professional, to reflect that 4-star or the $4 sign level of price right there, right? So if you have like privacy policy or anything else down here, you can add that, but that's essentially everything in page info. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you about the page info. Now, this is probably the most important of all these fields, all these tabs on the left. I would say page info is the most important one to make sure that it's fully populated and populated correctly so your page is as successful as it can be. Now, this is where we start to get in some really neat features here. So messaging, you can have it so you can set it up such that when people go to your Facebook business page, you can have a little auto messaging tool pop up where you can have like an instant greeting when somebody shows up, and then you can have some auto responses if they send you messages. So let's go down and check that out right now. So here we can say starting a message conversation, go down and it's right here. So you can say show a greeting. And we're going to say, yeah, let's show a greeting. And we're going to modify that greeting. So the way this works is whenever somebody goes to your page, this will pop up and it'll say hi, and it'll have their entire name, and then it'll say, thanks for getting in touch with us on Messenger. Please send any questions you have. And you can add other personalizations right here. So you can have like their last name, you can have their, if you want to add like the Facebook page link for some reason, or the website, you can definitely do that right there. Or you could just literally type in the website. I'm not really sure why you would want to do that specifically, but I'm sure there is a reason for that. So we're going to say save right there. And so you do have a Messenger link right here. And of course you can also have a auto responder here. So if somebody replies to that, so say you're not always looking at your phone. Say if somebody sends you a message, you don't want them to just be sitting there and waiting for you to reply, because it's kind of pointless. They just send an email at that point, right? So a word of advice here is that if you are not able to monitor your Facebook Messenger all the time, or if you don't have a team to monitor all the time, then maybe you don't want to use it at all. But if you are going to use it, it's a very, very powerful tool. You just really want to make sure that it's not like a void. People send a message and never get a response, or send a message and have to wait 30 minutes for a response. So you want to kind of be as on top of it as possible. And an instant reply is a good way to buy yourself some more time. So what I typically like to do is send a quick reply there and say like, hey, thanks for reaching out to us. I'll reply as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, go around and check out the rest of the website, maybe like give them a discount link or something. So I'll show you the rest of Inbox in a few minutes. But first, let's go back up to settings on the top right there. And we're going to continue through this little settings tutorial here. So we have general, page info, messaging. We already talked about that. Now templates and tabs. This is important for how your Facebook page is going to be laid out. So there are some different templates here. You can choose some different basic ones. So right now it's in services. Now, if we don't want that, like I said, there's tons of other ones. I recommend just like test a few out, see what they look like. And they're all generally the same idea, but depending on what you're trying to do, you have like different tabs there. Remember how I showed you in the beginning, how like maybe if you don't have products to sell, you don't want to have a shop thing, right? So you can absolutely just go through the template and modify those as much as you need to. I'm going to keep the one that already has services because we are a barbershop, makes sense. It's a service, and you go down here and you can rearrange these. So let's say we're like a really funny barbershop and we have some really funny videos. Maybe the first thing you want to do after home is have a videos tab. And so what you do is you click these little 3 lines here and you can drag these around anywhere, and you can go into settings for any of them, and you can either get rid of it by turning it off, and then you don't show this tab anymore. There's also a URL right there, so you can copy this and you can share this tab with other people. But essentially that's all you need to know. You can also add a tab at the bottom. I don't really typically do that. Usually you can just go and find all the tabs you need in either, what's right here or in one of the other templates. Next, we have post attribution. Post attribution is fairly straightforward. It's essentially just when you make a post, is it posting as Mike's Barbershop or is it posting as Mike? And so for me, as you know, a lot of the businesses might be like a single person thing. I recommend just posting as your business. If you have a bunch of employees, so maybe if you are like someone like CNET or like The Verge, it would make sense that they would maybe have people posting as their employee names so that it's like this author posted this, right? So you can make that judgment call. For me, I usually just post as the business. Next, we have notifications. And if you're new to having a business on social media, you'll quickly learn that it's not like personal social media at all. You will have so many more notifications, and it's really important to kind of focus your time on what actually makes your business money. So if your business is if you're getting distracted all day long by like someone shared a link, someone did this, someone did that, and like you don't want to be distracted by that, it's wasting time that you're not focusing on your business. So this is a great way to really trim down and figure out what you really do need and what you don't need. So you can say like get one notification every 12 to 24 hours with all updates. That's a really cool thing that Facebook has right there. Or you can go down and choose like, okay, what kind of notifications do you want? Do you want emails, text messages? Let's just say like, I don't care if there's new likes. If I post something, don't notify me when somebody likes it. I'll come back later and I'll check and I'll figure out who liked it. And so lots of different options. Again, a total judgment call on your part, but I recommend you definitely do this. Then we have advanced messaging right here. I'm not really going to cover much of this in this video, but I can talk about it later on in another video. Typically when you're starting off, I don't worry too much about this. This is like for high volume messages, for subscription messaging and stuff like that. Again, I will make a video on this kind of stuff in the future. If you're interested, subscribe. And as your page grows, I'll be making more videos about this. Next, we have page roles, which is essentially a way for you to delegate different tasks and different responsibilities to people. So you can assign a new role to somebody who is involved in your business, maybe an employee, for example, and say like they can post and edit the page, but they can't add more people, or they can't, it's stuff like that you can really kind of have other people help out with this so they don't have to have your personal sign in for Facebook and total admin access. So definitely a powerful tool here. Hey, you can assign different roles to different people as like an editor, for example, a moderator, an advertiser, an analyst, or an admin. So lots of options there. If you're ever consulting with somebody, you're going to be using these as well because you don't want to give them access to everything on your page, but maybe they're like an analyst or something like that. And you definitely want to be able to do that right there. So these next few pages, next few tabs, I'm not really going to cover. Same concept, but as a beginner, they're not really that important for you. Then if we skip down to Instagram, this is where you can connect your Instagram page. If you have an Instagram business, connect the account right here. It should be fairly straightforward to just hit connect account, sign in. I can talk about this more in another video. And I actually did make another video about how to make a Facebook business page. So two platforms that really go hand in hand, and you can really cut your work in half by, just posting on one and sharing on the other, or the other way around, just to make sure that when you post once, you have both platforms covered. And there is a way later on, I'll show you notifications, how you can kind of merge everything and manage your business for Instagram and Facebook kind of all in one place. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the settings I wanted to show you. And if we go back to page now, you'll see that suddenly my cover did load. I don't know why it wasn't loading before. But again, you can go up there, change the cover, you can change the profile picture. That's what I was trying to show you guys before. I don't know why it wasn't participating, but going across the top, I want to show you what these tabs are, because once we kind of did all the settings, that's really like a one-time thing. You can go back and check that and modify that in the future, but for the purposes of managing your business on a day-to-day basis, you're going to really deal with these tabs significantly more frequently. So if we go to inbox, this is really where you can manage either the direct messages or just the general notifications of your Facebook page. And once you have your Instagram page connected, you can manage that as well. So your Instagram page, you'll have Instagram direct messages, and then you have Facebook messages, and you can go through the inboxes right here. You can also manage the Facebook and Instagram notifications down there. So again, just easier. You don't have to go on your phone and do all that. It's typically a lot faster to type on a laptop, in my opinion at least. Then we can go over to appointments. That's going to be fairly straightforward what that is all about. If you're doing any kind of booking through Facebook, it's going to be popping up right here. Next, we have notifications. I think that's self-explanatory. Hopefully you limited the notifications so you don't have too many going on right here. but you can have likes, comments, and really kind of break down the notifications by category to see what they are. And that is important, but I would think what is even more important than that for a business page is going to insights. So on a day-to-day basis, maybe not all the time, but I do recommend that you go and check out the insights of your business page when you have more posts and more content out there to really see what's driving traffic, what your traffic looks like, what age group, demographics they are, so you can really start to hone in and figure out who your audience is, what do they like, what are they most interested in, and what's causing the most success for your business, so you can study that, learn, and then grow your business from there. So lots of options. Of course, because we don't have any posts and it's a very new page right now, we're not going to be able to do that yet, just because it says there is no information for it to share, but you will have some nice graphs here based on the posts and the likes and all that stuff. And it'll be fairly straightforward. I can make another video on this in the future if you guys would like. So lastly, if you click more and go to page quality, this will tell you if you have any kind of violations with Facebook's page or community standards, which is very important. You want to make sure that you are operating within their community standards so you don't get banned. If you have any question about that, go over to the page quality tab, check it, make sure you're in good standing, and read up on the rules and regulations just to make sure that you're doing everything correctly. So one last thing I want to show you guys, this is very important, so make sure you don't miss this, because this is a good way for you to either get a Facebook URL or otherwise have it more searchable so people can find this. And so what you do is click on create Facebook page username, and what we're going to do is just create the username. It's going to be similar to, make it the same as your Instagram username if you can, just so you're consistent across platforms. We're going to say like Mike's Comedy Barbershop. Right? And so it'll tell you if that's taken or not. We have a green check mark. Looks like we're good. So we're going to create the username. And then what you can do is you can go to facebook.com/Mike's Comedy Barbershop, or you can message at m.me/Mike's Comedy Barbershop. So 2 great ways to make it easy for people to reach out to you and find you. And of course, you also have the username at Mike's Comedy Barbershop. So it should be easier for people to find you there as well. So guys, that's everything I have for you in this video. The next step, once you have all this set up and you understand what a Facebook business page is supposed to be like, you want to go down and start creating content and creating value so that when people are going, maybe you'll show up on their browse feed, maybe people will share your content, but you really want to use social media to your advantage in a social way. So the way people are going to visit this and share this is if you provide value or humor or entertainment or anything to them that they think is worth it and they want to share with friends. So it's not a big platform. You just push ads out all the time. So you want to have something that's entertaining for people. And again, you want to invite all of your friends to like this page and give them value, first of all, so they can share with other people. You can have contests, you can have giveaways, whatever you're trying to do, just a way to get it out there and kind of spark like a little bit of a viral movement to really gain more traction for your business. So I hope this video helped you in starting your first Facebook business page. If it did, please remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. But overall, guys, this is essentially what you need to know to start a Facebook business page. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.